who's on a roll. And here we go. The first start for Nigeri Kennedy, the two-time National Pitcher of the Year, rookie out of Texas Tech. Leah Andrews is the first batter she will face.
And Nigeri Kennedy, the first-round pick, just has been with the team for just 1 week and fully immersed with the team, but you'll see her go to that rise, her curve, her change. Her bread and butter is that rise ball.
Leanne Good playing third today. She had been starting at second the last couple of games, and she throws out the speedy Leah Andrews as we take a look at the Talons lineup as we highlight Kaylee Wyckoff, who was terrific, 2 for 2 with an RBI double for a team that had been struggling offensively, snapped a 3-game losing streak. Jalen Alchin batting second, swings through that first pitch from Kennedy. Sent into the air, Goodwin chases and at the wall, cannot come up with it. Alchin goes in standing into second base.
And that is going to be the key for Nigeri Kennedy today, is to get that rise ball snapping and jumping and elevated. But Jadalyn Alchin being aggressive, hitting early in the count. And she stands up on second with the double.
This is the second appearance for Kennedy. Woolery now at the plate. Kennedy did pitch at Carolina on Sunday. 2 1/3 innings of relief, gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned. So she comes into this game with a chunky 15 ERA.
Yeah, and she got banged up a bit facing the Carolina Blaze, and just imagine her finishing her College World Series, trying to figure out her next steps, getting her contract together and all the things, but just a whirlwind of a week. And so, you know, she's been with the team for a week, fully immersed in her bullpens, just trying to work and tweak on a couple of things, trying to get back to being Nigeri.
She's fallen behind Woolery 3-0. Gets one in. They have been tweaking her mechanics a little bit, and all the softball aficionados across really the world, you can see little changes from when we first saw her as a freshman at Stanford. That's a 5-pitch walk to Woolery.
And last time Woolery and Nigeri faced in Women's College World Series, that epic tying the ball game, sending it to extras from Jordan Woolery.
And you see the numbers every year elevating for Nigeri in the wrong direction. First 2 years at Stanford, the last 2 at Texas Tech, where she led them to back-to-back Women's College World Series finals.
Yes, and a lot of it has been mechanics on her stride, where she's striding. When we talked to her yesterday, she mentioned she's working on her resistance, so just really working on trying to snap, get that movement on that rise ball, because that is her bread and butter pitch. And we'll continue to get into it, but she just really wants to hone in on her craft and be a little bit more sharper.
So Kaylee Wyckoff, who is a rookie out of Arkansas, has really made a difference for this Utah team, which is shorthanded. Both Jada Coleman and Hannah Flippen on the injured list. And that's over the head of Jennings. Good job by the left fielder Goodwin to charge in, but the bases are loaded with just 1 away.
And Kylie Wyckoff just has been incredible coming off the reserve, knowing that she continued to keep working after season was over, and she is absolutely getting the payoff.
Wyckoff reached base safely all 4 times last night and has done so in her first at bat. And here's the most dangerous power hitter for the Talons. She has the entirety of their season home runs this year. She has 2. The rest of her teammates have 0. So early on, a very crucial at bat for Ellis. she faces Kennedy. Another base hit. Station to station softball. RBI for Ellis brings Alchin home.
And Bree Ellis, she has talked about how last year she was just so in her head, and so in the off season, it wasn't so much working on mechanics, of course, trying to hone in on her swing, but it was the mental game that really set her apart. And coming into this year, she wanted to be mentally strong, and she's also getting the payoff as well.
Picking up another RBI, her 7th of the year. That leads her team. The base is still loaded with one away now for Rachel Becker. Nyjah got Aaliyah Andrews to ground out, but since then, double, walk, single, single. Handled by Jennings, and they turn to a crucial 6-4-3 double play to get out of the inning. Basins was part of the championship team last year, another UCLA Bruin, but she's been struggling a bit in the circle herself.
Yeah, she's been a key piece to this pitching staff. A good support behind Montana Fouts, another power pitcher. But that first start against the Chicago Bandits in Game 3 just had a rough outing and made the adjustments versus the Cascade. And you'll usually see her mainly also go to her screw and her rise.
In her 3rd start of this young season. Opposing batters hitting .322 against Megan so far, and here's her usage.
Yeah, she'll go to that screw, her curve, her rise, and her change, but she also has a drop as well that she's started to use a little bit more, and that's been one of the big adjustments that she's made in her 2nd start, mixing it up a little bit more.
Leading things off for Texas, Riley Boone, and keeping our eye on Tiare Jennings as usual. 3 home runs, hit one yesterday off of Montana Fouts, who was absolutely amazing, getting the complete game victory by setting a new AUSL record for strikeouts. So Jennings will bat 3rd, but Riley Boone getting things started. Riley playing right field tonight. She was in center last night. And some nights it looks like she could play all 3, you know?
At the same time?
Right, at the same time. It's all right, we don't need the other 2 guys. She's fast. Swings at the first pitch. And Savannah Jaquish can't get to it. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. We are playing in a baseball stadium. This is where the Texas Rangers AAA team plays. So the backstop is well beyond the 30 feet maximum that is the standard for the AUSL. And if you can see that line, there you go, good shot. That was put in yesterday in the 2nd inning to show where that 30-foot line is. And anything that goes beyond that, there's kind of some wonky rules that go on.
Yeah, well, if there's a pop-up, there's more room for catchers to make that play. But if it's a pass ball, wild pitch, there's a runner on. If it gets past that, a runner can only take 1 base.
Boone just flares it. He finds the glove of Taylor Beal for the first out.
And this is a shot from Riley Boone, just able to get bat on ball, get to contact quick, but Taylor Beal positioning well. That's out number 1.
And Beal, another player coming in as a replacement. Off the reserve list, Jaden Goodwin batting 2nd and playing left tonight. For the Volts, this is part of an 8-game homestand for Texas, who played their first 5 on the road. Savannah Jaquish catching, and that is an unusual sight. She did not catch at all last year in the AUSL and is in there for the second straight day. Goodwin grounds out to Becker at second. Charlize Palacios had been starting and started the first 6 games, and yesterday said she was just off. But actually that's Maddie Moore, defensive replacement at second for Utah. And now Tiare Jennings.
Yes, for the Talons, the ability to have a Savannah Jaquish, I just call her a Swiss Army knife. She can do anything. She can play the corners, she can play outfield, she can lead behind the plate.
Sends that foul, but yesterday in the 7th, somebody finally got Montana fouls.
Yeah, and Tiare Jennings, she just said, hey, I'm just competing. That's all I'm doing. And I loved exactly what she said. At this point, nothing to think about, nothing I was sitting on. I'm just going to do my best and compete.
That is into center, but Andrews was on it as soon as it left the bat. That's a really good first inning for Ferremo, setting them down in order.
And Pam, Tosh, I know you mentioned it, but Nyjah didn't have the smoothest first outing. The Bolts GM, Kat Osterman, told her that, hey, my rookie debut wasn't great either. I got banged up, but that isn't indicative of what you're going to do as a pro. So Nyjah told her legendary GM, I'm going to pick your brain all the time. You know, with her athleticism, ability, and skills, she's proven to be a great pitcher. But what the Bolts are excited about is how robust she is in her process. And that is a combination that they say that makes a player who has no ceiling for her potential as a pro.
And it was so fun talking to Kat Osterman and her sharing that story with Nyjah Kennedy about her first start in her pro career. Stacey May.
Caroline Jacobson, high fly ball, and it is gone. Caroline Jacobson leading off the second with her first home run of the season, and the first player other than Bree Ellis to hit a homer for Utah this year.
And how about this? A 1-1 rise in to Caroline Jacobson, and she has just unleashed on this. And just such a great swing, so much power behind this swing. And she gets the Talons on the board, 2-0.
Nyjah Kennedy with another rough beginning, gave up 3 hits and a walk in the first inning, but an inning-ending double play ended the threat. Jacobson with the homer, and now Jaquish doing the catching again tonight. She's just 1 for 21. So a sub 100 batting average for Jaquish.
Yes, and just going back to talking about GM Kat Osterman, just sharing a story with her that her first start, she had a Stacey May, a name that she wasn't familiar with that just terrorized her, and just said, hey, you know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And you can keep working through the adjustments and reach your full potential.
Absolutely, and we all know what Kat Osterman's career has been amazing. Jaquish gets a single. Caroline Jacobson has hit her first home run of the season. Here she is with Savannah.
Caroline, you were just telling me that this team is really good at game planning, and that's what you took into your first AB. How much confidence does that give you to have that kind of execution?
Yeah, I mean, we've obviously all watched Nyjah play before, and we know what she's going to throw us, so we're just looking in one window and looking to ambush and attack early in the count.
I know you guys love your momentum, so I'll let you get back in there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Savannah. And by the way, that was only the second hit for Jacobson this season. She had been 1 for 18. Beal gets the beautiful bunt down to move Jaquish over to second.
Yes, and looking in one window, and that means they are just looking for something elevated. You know more times than not that Nyjah is going to go to that rise ball and being so aggressive in pitchers counts, and they're capitalizing.
So the first time through the lineup, Utah at 6 of the 9 reach base. Andrews grounded out to start the game. Kennedy has just thrown her 30th pitch already, but is ahead of Andrews 0-2. Throw over, good. Gets Andrews for the second time today, and Jaquish was unable to advance from second.
Leanne Good, just another amazing defensive utility. You see her at third. We know back in college she played first and second, played outfield as well.
And Good has been busy. She gets Alchin to end the inning, but Caroline Jacobson strikes.
1, 2, 3. Let's go, boys! Boys! Let's go compete today!
That was pregame sound from Amina Vega, who will be batting second here in the second inning for Texas. Rookie out of Duke, Leah Binford leading things off. Leah playing first base today. She has been terrific in the circle. In fact, leads the AUSL with a .75 earned run average. Has been great coming out of the pen. Very versatile for the Volts. And also has hit a couple of home runs.
Yeah, and some of those home runs coming off of a pinch hit, coming off the bench. So her versatility, such an asset to this team.
Brings a 5-game hitting streak into this game, but Ferramo looks sharp early.
And Ferramo has just been pounding the zone. She's been getting ahead early. As soon as she gets ahead early, she's going here to that changeup on the outer half. She's looking good.
And now Vega steps in for the first time. Vega had a really rough night against, well, most of them did, against Montana Fouts. Struck out all 3 times against Montana last night. Montana Fouts absolutely brilliant. Gave up a couple of runs in the first inning. Actually, just one of them, but after that, she set down 16 straight. And Ferramo has set down the first 4 she has faced, and there's Vega's contributions. He gets another hit. Amina Vega joined the Volts from the AUSL Reserve Athlete Pool and has performed beautifully.
Yeah, and she just told us that she was going to hit the ball today, which as she was mic'd up, has just been so consistent. Her hands are so nice. She gets bat to ball, stays compact, keeps it simple.
Jayla Lassiter playing center field this evening. Steps into the batter's box. And before that hit by Vega, Talons pitching had retired 23 of the last 24 batters they faced, going back to Montana Fouts 16 in a row last night. That was spoiled by a Jennings 7th inning home run.
The Montana Fouts last night just was so sharp. She was using her rise, her curve, not a lot of off speed. She stayed with a lot of her hard stuff, and so just telling of how sharp she was. It was hard for the Volts to catch up to her.
She didn't need a changeup, did she?
Not at all. She was mowing it by him.
Another outstanding performance. Her 3rd complete game of the season, 4th in a row going back to the postseason last year. Last year, Montana didn't have any complete games during the regular season. full count with Vega at first, and that's taken high. So after retiring the first 4 batters, 2 straight get on against Faremo. AUSL x Adidas brings together the energy of the game with the style and performance fans love. Exclusive apparel, elevated essentials, and athlete-inspired looks. The Adidas collection delivers the comfort and quality you deserve. Visit the AU Pro Shop online, shop.auprosports.com today. Now Jordan Rudd-Lee doing the catching today. Michaela Edenfield getting, at least for now, the night off. Rudd-Lee also coming out of that reserve athlete pool. An assistant coach at Purdue.
Yes, to see a lot of these players coaching.
Backhanded by Ellis, goes over to second, and they turn 2. So Ellis, very aware that it was Rudd-Lee at the plate.
This is the second day in a row that Charlize Palacios has not been dressed. So they've talked about coming into the season how they really wanted to prioritize resting her. But this seems a little different from what we've seen so far and something we'll continue to monitor. As for Flippen and Coleman, they went on that 7-day minimum IR on June 14th. So Flippen working through a leg injury. Coleman, it was elbow. And that's how we're starting to see some production and contribution from Kaylee Wyckoff and Taylor Beal, who are coming out of the reserve pool.
Yes, and just the addition of Taylor Beal and Kylie Wyckoff has been so tremendous. They have not skipped a beat. They have stepped right in. Taylor Beal, a defensive specialist, stepping in for Hannah Flippen. And Wyckoff just offensively has been getting it done at the plate.
And the reserve pool has been huge. Players getting opportunities. As you take a look at Taylor Beal, both of them have been key contributors. In fact, Montana Fouts singled out what Wyckoff has done during her post-game press conference, deflecting all the attention away from Montana onto a teammate.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Nyjah Kennedy, that was on time there by Woolery, but hit right at Goodwin for the first out.
No, just a hard piece of contact right there. That was a changeup, and if we remember back to the Women's College World Series, Jordan Woolery was sitting change and tied up the ball game, but that was another changeup and hits it hard and lines out to left field.
And we are going to see a change as Rachel Garcia comes in, but not to pitch. She's going to go over to first base, and Binford, who was at first base, heads over to the bullpen to warm up. Heart skipped a little bit. I thought, oh, they're going to get Nyjah already.
No, she's staying in and just getting Binford ready.
Garcia was the starting pitcher yesterday. And Binford, you already mentioned it, has been so valuable for this Volts team out of the bullpen, and they've relied heavily on her bat as well. So here's Kaylee Wyckoff, who had such a good game yesterday, and why'd you woo us there?
Just that swing, because she's on it. She's on it. That's a rise out. It fouls, tips straight back. As a hitter, you're like, you know I'm on it.
Yeah, that's the indication, right? Nyjah Kennedy's first professional start. She's ahead of Wyckoff 0-2. And skips in. And there's the always active and versatile Leah Binford warming up in the pen.
There's not a more busy person than Aaliyah Binford. Grabbing a bat, grabbing her glove, going to first, grabbing her glove, grabbing her catcher and going down there and getting some circles underneath her.
And that's Edenfield out there who is warming her up, and Nyjah gets her first professional strikeout.
And this is huge right here. You can see Nigel working all around, starting out with that rise on the outer half, coming back in, and then just finishes Wyckoff with that changeup.
Bri Ellis had an RBI single the first time she faced Nyjah back in the first inning. Excuse me, contact there from Ellis. This is the first time tonight that Nyjah has gotten the first two out to begin an inning.
And you can just see the adjustments that Nyjah Kennedy has been making, going more to that changeup, more to that off speed.
And then she can chuck one in at 71.
Right, and what that does, it sets up her rise ball. So exactly what we heard from Caroline Jacobson, that they're sitting one window. So now you got to mix speeds, keep the Talons off balance.
The fans wanted that one. That will be foul down the right field line.
Yep, and you got to hold your breath, right? With Riley Boone in right field,
yes.
What we witnessed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Surprised she didn't get to it. Looks like she's talking to some fans too on her way. Yeah, of course she is.
She makes friends everywhere she goes.
Having a nice chat before she gets back to right. Two-two to Ellis with the bases empty, and now the count goes full. A little stomp of the foot there from Nyjah.
Yeah, good location. She's trying to get that curve on the outer half, just a little bit low, but I think in a 2-2 count, it's a good location, good spot, not missing too much over the heart of the plate.
Ellis. Grabbed by Tiare Jennings. For the first time tonight, Kennedy sets the Talons down in order during that stretch when nobody could get on base.
Honestly, just being a little bit more intentional with where the pitches were, knowing what I need to feel in order to make those pitches move, location, all the things. Just more of trusting the process instead of just trying to focus on making the outcome happen.
Montana, last night, yes, you looked phenomenal. What was actually working for you in terms of your pitches?
Honestly, there's still a few things, like when you go back and watch the film, it's like, oh, yeah, this could spin a little bit more, this could be in a better spot. So honestly, just feeling like changing the eye level. I feel like in the first inning, you know, maybe I just didn't do my best job of that. But I feel like we had some good pitch calling too throughout the game that I feel like I can credit a lot of that too.
Yeah, just as this is your third year being a pro, and I feel like you continue to get better and better. But what are the things that you keep adding to your game now that you've been 3 years out of college?
I really think it's not necessarily like trying to reinvent the wheel, but just trying to do what you do, and then how can you be the best at what you do. We used to say it last year. It was like, you know, we're going to continue to wash our hands, and that is everyday stuff, but continue to wash your hands the best that you can every day. So I think it's just trying to develop what you've got and be the best of that.
I love that. And it's been fun. I follow you, Montana, on social media, but you've just been sharing so much more about just your journey, what you've been learning, how you've grown. But what's your biggest advice to young pitchers who are following in your footsteps?
Honestly, since you're talking about social media, I would just say, like, even though I'm sharing those things, doesn't mean I'm not also going through them myself. I just feel like at all levels you're going through that, especially in this game of softball where it can feel like a roller coaster. But the best thing that you can do is surround yourself with people that help you stay on that incline, emotionally and physically and all the things. But just be on a great team and not necessarily in a jersey, but have yourself that support and just be honest with what you need. I feel like a lot of it, it's just as much mental as it is physical.
Yeah, it's so nice to have that positive message out there. We all know social media can be so incredibly toxic, and it's nice for the positivity. And complete games. I mean, you've thrown 4 complete games going back to last year. Are you just basically refusing to come out? I know you're pitching well, but what's going on now with this string of complete games?
Honestly, I just think attacking the game, you know, if I go in and I know that I'm starting the game, my goal is to 100% finish that. And if we go into extras, like already preparing for that mentally, we were laughing about it. I feel like last year, the championship game, I never really thought about it till after, but I remember I was going through my notes the other day, and I remember saying, they're going to have to chase me down for this one if they want to come out. But honestly, just trying to do whatever I can for the team.
Talk about just your relationship, you know, with Charlize Palacios behind the plate, Jake Wish, but like, what does that look like pregame and in-game, your communication with them?
They're just so good. I mean, I cannot talk about them enough just because I don't think people realize what goes into that. Just number one, being a catcher, but then a catcher that can give you feedback, watches the game, internalizing it, and then also watching like your mechanics. Like, it is just so impressive to me that they're able to do all of that, call an incredible game, and be the best defender ever, and just like a bulldog back there. So I'm just very grateful for that, as well as their friendships off the field. I feel like they do a great job of getting to know each pitcher individually too.
Yeah, Montana, as we see a catch out there in center field. Thank you so much for your time and continued success.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Montana Fouts.
Go Talons!
The superstar pitcher, Faremos, pitching well for the Talons as well tonight.
It speaks a lot to who you are. But yeah, we're happy about the strikeouts too.
You just heard it in the chair with Montana Fouts, just the way that she talks about and views her teammates, shouting out her rookie, Kaylee Wyckoff, who had a 2-for-2 day yesterday at the plate. Her first extra base hit was an RBI double in the top of the third. And Wyckoff was talking about how even once the Arkansas Razorback season ended on May 29th, their first trip to the Women's College World Series, she kept working every day, just taking cuts, spending time in the cage, hoping that the phone would ring. And when it did, she was ready to pick it up and fill in for the Talons.
I just got the chills hearing that. I mean, not a lot of athletes will do that and just chip away and wait for that phone call. And she is just getting the payoff of just, it's shown that she's been working. And what better way for Montana Fouts just to tip her cap and give her a little bit of acknowledgement in that moment.
Yeah, very typical of Montana Fouts, who's so modest, and we heard in our chair chat with her giving the praise to her catchers, and Megan Fremont now on the left side of your screen pitching very well and writing stuff down. Megan's
taking notes.
As Maddie Moore faces Nyjah Kennedy, who in the last inning set down Utah in order for the first time tonight. 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors for Utah. 0 runs on 1 hit and no errors for the Volts. Maddie Moore coming in to play second base. Just 0 for 2 last night. Rookie out of Clemson. She was a 2-time All-American and a really good defensive second baseman, and she draws the leadoff walk to start the 4th. Second walk given up by Nyjah. Caroline Jacobson hit a rise ball down the left field line for a home run in her first at bat against Kennedy.
Yes, and Nyjah Kennedy just last inning, you can see her starting to settle in a little bit more, going more to that off speed, trying to mix up speeds a little bit more. You see it again there. And for it to be effective, she's got to throw that first strike. You can see her getting frustrated with herself, but doing a good job of mixing it up a little bit more.
That's up in the air, playable and caught by Good, charging in from third for the first out. Unsuccessful sacrifice attempt. First out.
Yep, Leanne Good just all over the place, honestly. Good read on that.
Savannah Jaquish singled in her first at bat. And Good teammates with Nyjah Kennedy. They faced each other 2 years in a row in the Women's College World Series Championship.
And that was one of my favorite things of being an athlete, like facing somebody and just having this crazy rivalry, and then another week or two or whatever, another moment later, you're their teammate, and getting to see the behind the scenes, and it just gives you more appreciation for athletes, seeing how they work.
Was there ever a rival that you played against that you absolutely couldn't stand, who once they became your teammate, you got to know a little bit better, you were like, oh, they're okay.
Yeah.
They're good.
There's
they're
a
good
few.
people.
There's
a few.
Yeah,
Good.
there's a few. One that just comes to mind is Chelsea Spencer.
Naja, 1-6-3. Double play to get Jaquish and end the inning after the leadoff walk.
And this is the jump. Little energy going to them. They've got it going on.
Right now, the Volts, who are in the basement, just one win on the season. That came at Oklahoma City, trying to get some things going, but Faremo has looked sharp. Ground ball to Beal. Retires Goodwin to start the fourth.
Jaden Good. Sorry, Taylor Beal there. Just good hands, good feet to that. Playing on grass. You'll get some true hops.
Faremo has done a good job of getting these Texas hitters out with very few pitches. Not going deep into counts. Tiare Jennings, the biggest threat for the Volts.
And there she goes to her drop out. But just the biggest adjustments that Megan Faremo has made has just been mixing the ball a little bit more. Her first start, she was more rise, screw, and just got banged up a bit. In her second start against the Cascade, she really, in pitcher's count, was starting to use more of her drop and throwing that for a strike, so the Cascade had to respect it. That set it up, her rise, her changeup even more. And you can just see the difference. She gave up 8 runs that first start, minimized that to 3 runs, just a batting average to 241 against her once she started to mix it up. And just these pitchers, they're constantly making these adjustments, mixing up their speed, and her drop ball is not one of her pitches that she uses a lot.
Full count pitch to Jennings. It's out on the nose to center field. For the second straight time, Andrews gets her.
And you can see the difference of her drop usage from her first start against Chicago to Portland. That drop usage went from 18% to 33% of the time she was using it. 52% drop chase. She had a lot of hitters drop and swing and miss on a lot of them, 30%. And just the jump, it's just how much she was using it and her ability to make it an effective pitch for her.
Mixing up pitches, I would think, especially with these elite hitters, you've got to do that, right?
Yeah, you can't be predictable. And, you know, we heard Caroline Jacobson, you know, we know what we're expecting. We're looking in one window. So you've got to have a hitter thinking about hitting in different windows and knowing that a pitcher can be unpredictable, throwing to different zones, getting different pitches thrown as strikes. So that makes that hitter have to respect it. Now I'm thinking about a secondary or third pitch.
Leah Binford, the DP now, sends one high, deep, and long gone. Binford, who has been so terrific at the plate, in the circle, gets the Volts on the board.
And Aaliyah Binford, just so valuable. And this is exactly what the Volts need. They need a little life in their offense. And you know, Aaliyah Binford, she can be called all to supply that power. This is a screw on the inner half, and she just turns on this and leashes it to left field. And the Volts are on the board.
Her third home run of the season, and that ties her with Tiare Jennings for the team high in that category. leading the team in batting average. She has just been terrific, and we've already had her warm up to possibly come into pitch. Nina Vega singled last time up. Cuts the lead in half, just to 2-1. You see all three of those home runs have come with nobody on. Otherwise, her RBI total would be through the roof. Two-two pitch now to Vega. Vega had a 5-game hitting streak that ended last night when Montana Fouts got her 3 times with strikeout pitches. That's kind of a welcome to the league rookie night, right?
Yeah. And you're facing some elite stuff in Montana Fouts for sure.
Just got a piece of it. Another 2-2. Vega sends it out of play. That home run by Binford ended a streak of 9 2/3 innings of scoreless pitching by the Talons when you combine Fouts, who shut out Texas after the first inning, just giving up that Tiari Jennings 7th inning home run, and then scoreless until the 4th here. So Fouts in the dugout. That gets over Maddie Moore's head. So back-to-back hits now for the Volts.
Nina Vega, she is so feisty at the plate, and you can see her just fouling off a lot of those screwballs on the outer half, waiting for something more inner half, and she gets that curve in and is able to capitalize.
Yeah, good description for her, feisty. She is somebody who's going to just stay in there. She would probably foul off 100 of them just to get what she wants and to stay alive. Jayla Lassiter walked against Faremo in her first at-bat. So a home run and now a single, both coming with 2 outs here against Faremo in the 4th. Loaded that one in for a strike. Just 1 hit in the first 3 innings. And now back-to-back hits, but it ends with Lassiter flying out to Alchin, but Aaliyah Binford goes deep. Right now, the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Nyjah Kennedy has settled in nicely after a bit of a rocky start. Here's Savannah on the field.
Well, we shared some of the things that Nyjah is working on with her Volts coaching staff, but one of the things that assistant coach Josh Trevino mentioned to me that I just love was that Nyjah told him as they're working on her development, breaking down the mechanics, she goes, I am so enjoying the process of relearning because I want to be able to teach others. She wants to give lessons. She wants to be able to coach. And so digging deep and trying to identify those things in herself, she's excited about. She thinks it's going to make her a better coach one day. I think that says a lot about how she approaches the game and who she is.
Yeah, it's incredible. And just for an athlete to want to not just get better for themselves, but to be able to get better so that they can go back and teach. And that's one of Nyjah's dreams, is to open up a facility. She wants to open a facility back in Kansas and give pitching lessons and give back to her community, but learning new things so that she has more things to be able to teach.
Yeah, as great as she is, there's always more, and she's willing to put in the work. Taylor Veal, the number 9 hitter, leading things off. Here in the top of the 5th, Josh Trevino is the pitching coach at Texas State, where head coach Ricky Woodard of the Volts is also the head coach there. So they work together. That's hammered, but Riley Boone plays in right field. She can't catch up to it, and it just scooches over the wall. Taylor Beal with her first home run of the season. So the Talons coming into this game had 2 home runs all year. They have 2 tonight.
How about Taylor Beal coming off of the reserve list and being able to stand in there, curve in, just really grinding it out. This thing gets out of here quickly. And the Talons are up 3-1.
Beal, a rookie out of Arizona. And that gets the lead back up to 2 runs. Leah Andrews showing bunt. All smiles for Taylor, and rightly so.
Yes, that's got to feel so good.
Both she and Jacobson with solo shots off of Kennedy tonight. Naja making her first professional start, second appearance since signing a week ago. In the air and foul territory for Good, who handles it for the first out. First time through the lineup, Naja had struggled, but the second time through, Utah batters for 0 for 7 with 1 walk until that Beal home run. Speaking of that home run, here is the home run hitter with Savannah Collins.
Taylor, congrats. First pro homer. You've had ABs that have contributed to that moment. What's tied in?
I think it's just playing free and playing with joy and just taking care of this opportunity that I have and just enjoying every moment that I have with these girls and this team in this stadium. It's just awesome.
Well, we're so glad you're here. Thanks.
Thank you.
And what a great story for Beal. And coming in, the injuries to Flippin and Coleman. And we keep saying it, right? These so many great athletes. There's only 6 teams, so there's all this talent. And when they get the opportunity, taking advantage.
Yeah, I love what she said, playing free and enjoying the moment. And, you know, sometimes at this stage, on this platform, you can make the game much bigger than it is.
Alchin fouls it back. Alchin completed her collegiate career at UCLA after starting out at Washington. A lot of UCLA Bruins in this league, have you noticed?
I have.
A little bit.
there are a few, a lot of them on the Talons. GM Lisa Fernandez picking a lot of her Bruins.
On the ground to Vega for the second out. So the legendary Lisa Fernandez is indeed the general manager of the Talons. Second year, they won the championship last year. And here's a Bruin.
Yes.
Woolery.
Yep, another one.
They're everywhere. Hit into short right field. Boone unable to catch up. So Woolery gets her first hit of the night and has been on base twice. And there you see, there's 5 players and their general manager.
Yep, and on the Volt side, you see Rachel Garcia at first base too. So
Yep.
Another one. And just saw Taylor Tinsley as well.
There's one in the booth.
Yeah.
4-time All-American at UCLA, Tasha Watley, 2-time Olympic medalist. So you were in Athens and the other
Beijing.
one? Beijing. Here's an 0-2 to Wyckoff. Which was more fun? What experience? I know winning the gold is better.
Winning the gold is better, but I would say like overall experience, Beijing was probably the better experience. Walked in with Kobe Bryant to opening ceremonies. Memory I will never forget.
Nor should you.
Yeah,
wow.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah, I would say winning gold too, but
yeah, winning
having
gold.
the opportunity to play behind Lisa Fernandez, the GOAT, and being her shortstop is probably an honor that I will wear forever.
She was pretty good.
Kind of.
Kennedy's changeup gets the count to 1-2 on Wyckoff. He was singled and struck out. Upstairs. Several players in this league are on the national team pool for the next Olympics. In the air for Goodwin. Camps under it to retire the side and strand Woolery as we go. Teams with real homes this year all season. Talons playing in Salt Lake City. The Bolts right here just north of Austin. Megan Faremo has pitched a very efficient game. She faces the bottom of the order in Rudd Lee, Garcia, and Good, with her team up 3-1.
Yeah, it's been so neat to see all of the teams in their home markets. And a great crowd here tonight and even last night, even with how hot it was. They all showed out for opening night for the Bolts in their new home stadium. Not as hot tonight.
Thank goodness. It was unbearable yesterday, and they still showed up.
Yes.
And they were lined up 2 hours before the game to get in early and not be in the air conditioning.
Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah. Jordan Rudd Lee grounded out to Faremo to end the second inning, so just her second at bat. Skies it. Second baseman Maddie Moore calls everybody off for the first out of the fifth. So Megan Faremo looking good so far in this start. For more on her, let's go down to Savannah.
Well, not only is Megan Faremo a star in the AUSL, Team USA, but she has spent years overseas playing in the Japan Diamond League. She's played for the Toyota Red Terriers since 2023. But this year was different. She went to her agent and her team and she said, hey, I really want to work it out in my contract so that I can be at the AUSL's opening day. It is important to me to be a part of this Talons season since day one. She's credited her agent for really spending some time and making sure that she could be here from the beginning. And I think it just speaks volumes about who Meg is and how much she cares about the growth of pro softball in the United States. And Tosh, I know you've played a lot in Japan too, and that's hard to get that time and that priority.
Yes, and I played for Toyota Red Terriers too, so that does speak volumes to Megan Faremo, and it's tough. They want their pitcher to be there, and for her to say, hey, this is important to me. This is kind of something that's a deal breaker for me. I can't make it back home and be able to pitch for the Utah Talons, and it's not easy saying, hey, I want to go, because they expect you to be there and you're a professional.
Credit to Megan's representation, getting her here and pitching professionally in the U.S., playing professional softball in the U.S. Huge. That opportunity was not there when you came out of UCLA. So how long were you in Japan?
I played for 8 years, and then I coached there for 4 years. So I was there for a total of 12 years.
Wow.
I lived 2 lives.
Garcia strikes out swinging. Second time she's gone down against Faremo tonight.
And Faremo go into that curve. This is just a hard curve. This is 71 miles per hour, and she's bringing it tonight.
Third strikeout for Faremo this evening. And good. Grounded out her first time up. And just one pitch. Boy, Faremo has been efficient. The Volts continue to swing aggressively early in the count. And that was a quick 1-2-3 for Faremo.
Step speed. She's got a devastating changeup. She throws hard and down. She'll keep that ball down with her drop.
Binford, who hit a home run today, and that's when you're leading your team in batting average and earned run average. And Bri Ellis greets her with a leadoff single in the 6th. Right. Nyjah Kennedy lifted, and she on the hook for the loss. Utah hit her 7 for 19 against her. That's a .368 average, 3 extra base hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout given up by Nyjah in her second appearance and first start of her pro career. Maddie Moore walked her last time up against Nyjah. Binford pitched last night and retired 11 of the 13 Talons that she faced. And she gets more swinging.
And that's exactly how she gets it done, is going to that off speed in that drop. This is that drop on the outer half, and she just pounds the zone, comes right at. Does such a great job in relief.
Brings up Caroline Jacobson, who homered against Kennedy. Bolts tonight doubling their season home run total. They had 2 home runs for the entire season, both by Bri Ellis in their first 7 games, and now the 2 solo shots tonight by Jacobson and Beal. Talons offense, 8 of their 9 players have reached base, but they've had 2 inning-ending double plays that have killed some threats. Only up by 2 runs. Boone for out number 2. Would you like a chance to win a custom AUSL Rawlings glove? Well, now is your chance. Visit the AUSL.com/win to enter today. Get a great glove.
Are you entering?
I don't believe I'm eligible. Nor should I be. Savannah Jaquish doing the catching for the 2nd straight game today for the Talons. Hits it hard, long, and gone. Savannah Jaquish with just her 2nd hit of the season extends the lead.
And Savannah Jaquish, she has been working at the plate, just trying to find a rhythm, find her timing, continuing to hit the ball hard, and finally pays off here and picks up her first home run of the season.
Yeah, pardon me, that was her 3rd hit of the season. She only had 1 coming into tonight, but she had a single against Kennedy earlier, and now that 2-run shot to pad the lead up to 5-1. Called on to catch. As Palacios is getting the night off for the second straight day. And here's Beal, who homered in her last at bat. In the bottom of the order, last night, no bueno. Tonight, how do you say very good in Spanish?
Muy bueno?
Muy, thank you. That sounds right. That's right. You're a Japanese
my
speaker.
Japanese, yeah.
How do you say it in Japanese? Very good.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like English.
I know, you're putting me on the spot.
I'll give you some time. Binford going to chat with Jordan Rudd-Lee, her catcher. Again, Binford coming in to start this inning to relieve Nyjah Kennedy. And they have touched her up a bit.
And I remembered what it is. It's
okay.
E.
That's it?
E. Yeah, it's like E. E is good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that works.
So simple.
It came to me.
I know, it's been a while. Beal gets the free pass. That brings us to the top of the order, and Leah Andrews, Ricky Woodard, the head coach for the Volts. This is a team that had the worst record in the league last year, and they're not off to a good start this year as well, with just one win.
Yeah. And, just coming into the game, obviously, pitching is a big piece of it, but taking care of the ball, which they've done a good job, and just keeping them in ball games. But it comes down to the offensive game, getting runners on, run production.
Yeah, they've struggled with their pitching. Kennedy has come on now and has struggled in her first two appearances. And Binford has been called on often to pitch and hit. Taking off and stealing second, Taylor Beal.
But this has been the difference for the Talons, is once they're getting runners on, we're seeing them putting runners in motion. You see here Taylor Beal taking off, but just putting more pressure on the Volts and getting herself in scoring position.
Boone, who was playing shallow, came in to grab it and end the inning, but another home run by innings. 66 pitches through 5 innings for Megan. On the other hand, Kennedy, the departed starter, in 5 innings through 88. So 22 fewer pitches than Nyjah through 5 innings.
Right, just Faremo so efficient, getting ahead on a lot of these Volt hitters.
Riley Boone has not been on base yet today and takes a mighty cut. Utah trying to take the first 2 games of this 3-game set. Boone is fast and beats it out. So Woolery had to kind of hurry the throw and bounced it in. So Boone is on base for the first time this evening.
And Boone just being a spark plug. This is what the Volts need. Using her speed, using that area right in front of home plate, trying to deaden that ball, putting some pressure on Jordan Woolery, and she's standing on first.
And this is the first time tonight that the Volts have gotten a leadoff runner on in any inning. Jaden Goodwin has bounced out twice against Faremo. Faremo coming into this game 0-1 in 3 appearances and 2 starts, and ERA at 5.5. Opponent batting average at 322. Texas just 4 for 18 against her. That's 222 tonight. So by far her best outing. And what a way to back up what Fouts did last night.
Yeah, just being able to show why they have the second lowest ERA in AUSL.
Lowest opponent batting average Most strikeouts for a pitching staff. Fouts a large part of that, but what a strength for Utah. In the last couple of days, their offense has shown some life.
You just think about the Talons pitching staff. They just have so much versatility. You've got a power pitcher in Montana Fouts and Megan Faremo. Taylor Tinsley, we should see her tomorrow. She'll mix the ball up a little bit more speeds, more levels. Sarah Willis, devastating changeup with it. And Dallas Escobedo, we're not even talking about her enough. Another power pitcher that's able to move it through the zone, but they just have so many different options. Most of these pitchers can come in and they can start. They can come in relief. They can come and close a game. So they've got a lot of great arms in their pitching staff.
2-2 to Goodwin. Handled by Moore. They get Boone, so the lead runner. Goodwin reaches on a fielder's choice. Mentioned Georgina Cora.
Oh, yeah.
They're waiting, right?
What am I doing?
She's E, right? She's very good.
Yeah, kind
She's
of.
in Japan. So they're going to get her back. And she was the pitcher of the year last year in the AUSL. A couple of shutouts, an ERA just over 2. So that's a very deep staff.
Just kind of, gosh, I mean, I'm just thinking of being a hitter and having to prepare for all of them and all of them on one team. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, with the variety, as you mentioned, this is the defending champion, Talons, based in Salt Lake City this year. There's Tiare Jennings, who's lined out twice to Andrews in center. Good job by Jaquish to keep that pitch in the dirt in front of her. We'll see if Jennings takes it. She does for the first strike. Ooh. That 56-mile-an-hour change.
And that's in a hitter's count. You're definitely thinking that something meaty's coming. She's not going to try to walk you here.
Playable for Ellis in foul territory. Second out of the inning. Who's heading to the 2026 AUSL All-Star Cup? You decide. Head to the AUSL.com right now. Pick your top 10 players. You can vote once a day, every day through June 30th to send the league's best to the All-Star Cup in Rosemont in August. Get your favorite players onto the field. Vote today. The AUSL.com/vote. Montana Fouts, can I vote for her?
Yes.
Okay. She got my vote.
Yes, that's a good one.
There's so many choices, though. Goodness.
I know. That's why I love it. I mean, just every team has stars, pitchers. I mean, I don't even know where you go. Yeah, Montana Fouts, she definitely would get a ton of votes.
Binford homered off Faremo her last time up. The AUSL season, well, this iteration that we're seeing right now, will conclude the end of July with the championship series in College Station.
Yes.
Very nice field they have there.
Yes, and I've never been there.
I've called games in the old stadium, but not the new amazing one. Moore flips over to short. To end the inning, Texas goes down again.
Great look. She'll keep the ball down as well. She has off speed. She has a changeup as well. 2-time NFCA All-American from University of Oklahoma.
Rookie, she's from Buffalo, New York. Not exactly a town you think of as a softball hotbed.
Yeah.
Imagine all the cold places she played growing up.
Yeah.
But signed as an injury replacement for Alyssa Dunham. Alyssa Dunham got the only win for Texas this year. We were there in Oklahoma City, was pitching a gem of a game, and then in the 7th inning got hurt.
Yeah, and just knowing Alyssa Dunham, her story, just her fighting back through surgery and being able to come back and having that incredible start, and it was really hard and heartbreaking to see her go down.
She's been on the injured list, coming back from that back surgery. And that has been the only win again for this team all year. Alchin starting things off here in the top of the 7th inning. And you see some players that have been struggling. Beal, a replacement player, but Jacobson and Jakewish really struggling coming into tonight, but not struggling anymore. Jacobson, the 2 J's, Jacobson and Jakewish with home runs.
Yes, and it's hard to say all of those names, but that's what they needed coming into tonight, was just trying to break things open. You needed the bottom of the lineup to kind of get some run production there, and Caroline Jacobson in the 7 hole, Savannah Jakewish in the 8 hole, moving them down to the bottom, getting things done for them.
We also have a new catcher coming in, Michaela Edenfield, who has been the everyday starting catcher. Did not start tonight, but she comes in to catch Berzon. Berzon 3 years at LSU and then finished things up at Oklahoma. And that's out of the reach of Jennings. Alchin leads off the 7th with her 2nd hit of the night.
And Alchin just really seeing the ball well. 2nd hit of the night. But I love this decision coming into this series. They've moved Alchin into that 2nd spot. She was in the bottom of the lineup last series, but just getting more traffic, getting more runners on base for the Talons. Saw her steal a base last night as well.
That move has paid off with Alchin moving up. Jordan Woolery. First time facing Berzon at pro level. Berzon's pro debut. Just like Nyjah Kennedy, who lasted 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 3 runs. 10 hits for the Talons, really breaking out. There's Nyjah in the dugout. Is it Sierra Romero?
Yeah.
The veteran?
Yes.
And you know that's somebody that Nyjah's going to listen to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If she's going to share just the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs, and just the mentality in the mental game, that's who I want to hear from, is Sierra Romero.
Inside, gets away from Edenfield, so Alchin easily gets on down to 2nd. And we are in a minor league baseball stadium, so the backstop more than the 30 feet. That is the maximum for AUSL. So Alchin could only take 1 base. It ended up not mattering anyway because Woolery drew the walk. So the first 2 facing Berzon have gotten on.
Berzon just keeps the ball down. She's mid-60s, hitting around 64, 65. Just trying to find that strike zone, find a rhythm.
Kaylee Wyckoff. Another hit tonight. Another defensive change out in the field for Texas. Jackie Liss is now playing first base as Edenfield comes out to have a chat with Berzon. Jackie Liss, who was a college teammate of Nyjah over at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
couple of weeks after they played in another championship series in Oklahoma City. Texas taking the championship again. Another nice off-speed pitch. Just walking around where we are here in the Austin area, I saw some University of Texas National Championship shirts out there.
That is awesome.
Celebrating the softball team. Lifted into short left for Goodwin for the first out of the 7th. Well, the Texas Volts, a lot of ties to the state of Texas, including the aforementioned Liz and Kennedy playing at Texas Tech, Leanne Good on the Champions, Jessica Mullins, one of the pitchers at Texas State, where she plays for her head coach, Ricky Woodard, and her pitching coach, Josh Trevino.
Yeah, and GM Kat Osterman said one of the things that she was hoping is having them on the Volts was bringing the fans with them. So having a Nija Kennedy, a Leanne Good from this area.
And Leanne Good got the 2nd largest ovation today as the University of Texas Longhorn after Nija. In the introductions, only the 2nd home game for this team. Bree Ellis singled against Binford and scored in the 6th inning. Edenfield gets on it, and both runners are able to move up 60 feet.
Alchin just so aggressive on the bases, so heads up. The minute she sees that ball in the dirt, no hesitation.
This is 2nd wild pitch of this inning for Berzon. And a 3-1 for Ellis. Playing in, Jennings decides to take the shore out at first. Alchin runs well and scored.
And again, Alchin just putting so much pressure on this Volts team. This ball is hit pretty hard to Tiari Jennings, and instantly she wants to make that play. But the moment you make hesitation as a shortstop, just go ahead and get that out.
Surrenders the 6th run of the game. Second baseman Maddie Moore. Looking for her first hit tonight. There goes Rory, and she is out by a lot. That wasn't close. Edenfield got her. Game 2 of this home opening series for the Volts. Megan Faremo trying to get back-to-back complete games. We saw one from Montana Fouts last night. Faremo has only given up 4 hits, half of them to Amina Vega, who leads off the 7th. Megan Faremo, who had some struggles early on in this season, having a really good game tonight. No pitch count.
And what stands out to me is the 1 walk that she has. Just knowing her first start, she has about 3 walks, but just uncharacteristic of her. Just she usually goes right at hitters, and continuing to find a way to make the adjustments and find her rhythm.
Short left field for Alchin. Vega is retired. Pinch hitter coming up for Lassiter. It's Danica Coffey. Texas desperately trying to get some offense going. Coffee in her second year in the league out of LSU. She had a hit last night. Moore had to go a long way and couldn't catch up. It's a pinch hit, 1-out single for Coffee.
Coffee is a player that GM Kat Osterman just says she's so underrated. She's going to be somebody in our lineup that can just be a key to success. She can do so many things well. She can hit for power. She possesses so much speed, and she gets this ball through the right side.
It's the 5th hit of the night for Texas. Michaela Edenfield, who came in to catch in the last half inning, gets her first at bat this evening. Swinging at that first pitch.
Yeah, so that's the adjustments that you see the Volts making. We saw Mina Vega swinging first pitch there. Michaela Edenfield coming and swinging first pitch. We just have been working from behind so much against Megan Faremo.
Two-1 with Coffee on first. Faremo has now thrown 3 straight balls to Michaela. High in the air, a lot of foul territory in this baseball park, but not quite enough.
And this is when it gets fun, when you have a lot of foul territory to work with. That's the one thing that I did enjoy playing on baseball fields, is having more room to run as a shortstop. Foul territory, I'm like, yes.
Helps the
Let
defense.
me play, yes.
Yeah, helps your defensive pitchers, that's for sure. Out full now. And another foul. Nice catch without a glove for that solitary guy. He's got his Talons shirt on.
Yeah. That's great.
That's pounded, but foul. Some good contact here from Edenfield off of Faremo. Oh, took something off that. And got her looking. Wow.
And
You
this
throw
is
that on a full count?
Yeah.